friends, and welcome to Pajama Prayers. It's so nice to have you with us this evening. I look forward to spending time with you all week, so I'm glad you're joining me tonight. We have a great show planned. We're going to begin our show with a game of hidden pictures. Are you ready to play? Best of luck to you.
Find what's hidden in this picture. Do you see a hockey stick? Where is the spaceship? Do you see a flag? Can you find a boot? Now find a snail shell. Can you find the ice cream cone? What about a pennant? Can you find the carrot? What about a seashell? Where is the tube of toothpaste? Do you see an artist's brush? Where are the scissors? Can you find a pencil? Do you see an envelope? Do you see a toothbrush? Do you see a teacup? Can you find a heart? What about a ruler? Do you see a bow tie? What about a sailboat? find a needle? Can you find a crayon? Can you find the fish? Do you see a bell?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that game of hidden pictures, and I know that you're going to enjoy our story for tonight. The name of our story is The Joy of Giving. It has a great message, boys and girls, so pay close attention. I know you're going to love it. The Joy of Giving by Jan and Mike Berenstain. It was the week before Christmas, and all over Bear Country, everyone was busy getting ready for the big day. There were Christmas shopping, and Christmas decorating, and Christmas everything. Down at the chapel in the woods, the cubs of Bear Country were busy getting ready for the Christmas Eve play. It was the story of the first Christmas, and brother and sister had an important role. They were to be the camel of the 3 wise bears. Sister was the front end of the camel, and brother brought up the rear. They thought it was the best costume ever. Mrs. Ursula, their Sunday school teacher, was directing. "All right, wise bears," she called. "Enter. Stage right." The 3 wise bears came on stage. They carried gifts and wore long robes, crowns, and fake beards. They followed the Christmas star made of foil-covered cardboard that hung above the stage. The first wise bear was played by Sammy Bruno, who had a loose front tooth that made him a little hard to understand. "Athar, athar," he cried. "I see athar." Mrs. Ursula sighed. "Okay, camel," she called. "You're on." Sister and brother followed the 3 wise bears. But it was hard to see out of the costume, and sister accidentally knocked over a palm tree. The 3 wise bears tripped, going down in a tangle. Oh dear," said Mrs. Ursula. "Will we ever be ready?" "Sorry, Mrs. Ursula," said sister, poking her head out. "It's hard to see in there." "I'll make the peepholes bigger," said Mrs. Ursula. "That's enough for today, cubs. It's time to go home." The cubs took off their costumes and went into the chilly evening air. "Brrr," shivered sister. "It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas." "Yeah," agreed brother. "And looking that way, too." Well, the whole neighborhood was decorated for Christmas. Sister and brother walked home in the soft glow of many colored lights. The next day, the Bear family went shopping. It was time for brother and sister to pick out a few special gifts. This year, they had 2 crisp $10 bills from Grizzly Gramps and Gran to spend on others. Of course, brother and sister hoped that they would have some money left over for themselves. Sister was saving for a brand new Barbie doll, and brother wanted a special rubber band-powered model airplane. Papa and Honey helped brother do his shopping while mother went with sister. Brother picked out a Barbie doll outfit that he found on sale for Sister, and Sister bought a small airplane model for Brother. Each cost just a few dollars. Mama and Papa thought maybe each cub should have spent more on one another. "What about the joy of giving?" whispered Mama to Papa. "It seems Brother and Sister only care about the joys of getting." "True," agreed Papa, "but let's not interfere. They'll learn about the joys of giving themselves." Well, over the next few days, Christmas excitement in Bear Country grew and grew. Brother and Sister could hardly wait. They were going to be a camel and get lots of presents too. Play rehearsal went well. Sister could see better out of the bigger peepholes, and everyone knew their lines. But it was still a little hard to understand Sammy Bruno. When Christmas Eve finally arrived, practically everyone in Bear Country jammed in the chapel in the woods to see the cubs perform. A hush fell as the curtain opened, and the play began. First, the angel Gabriel came to Mary, telling her that she would give birth to Jesus. Then Joseph and Mary journeyed to Bethlehem, where the innkeeper gave them shelter in a stable. There, Mary gave birth to a tiny baby who was laid in a manger. An angel of the Lord appeared to the shepherds, sharing the good news of Jesus' birth, so they could go and worship the newborn king. Finally, the 3 wise bears and their faithful camel trooped on stage. The foil-covered Christmas star hung high above the stable, sparkling in the spotlight. "A star! A star! I see a star!" Sammy said clearly. His loose tooth had come out backstage. The 3 wise bears kneeled before Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. The shepherds and the angels joined them. Everyone bowed low before the tender baby. The 3 wise bears opened their treasures and gave Jesus their precious gifts. The audience grew very still, and then someone in the back began to sing softly. "Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild." And the rest of the audience joined in near the end. Sleep in heavenly peace. Peeking out of the camel costume, tears came to Sister's and Brother's eyes. It seemed they had never understood the joy of giving until that moment. All the gifts of all the Christmases, of all the years, went back to those first gifts given to the tiny baby long ago. The Christmas Eve play was over, and the audience cheered. Everyone felt the true spirit of Christmas had been with them that night. On Christmas morning, Brother and Sister led the family downstairs bright and early. But instead of heading to their own gifts, they went to their gifts for each other. "Merry Christmas," they said, holding out their presents. "From one end of the camel to another," said Brother. "Thanks," laughed Sister. "You're a first-rate backup." Brother and Sister were delighted with their gifts and gave each other big bear hugs. Honey opened her presents and brother and sister joined in. In the back of their minds, though, they were still thinking about the money that they had left over from their shopping trip. Later that morning, the family went to the chapel in the woods for the Christmas Day service. A light snow covered the ground, and all of Bear Country glistened in the sun. On the way, sister and brother noticed a group of bears playing Christmas carols. They were collecting money for the needy in a big black pot. Brother and sister looked at each other, dug into their pockets, and dropped all of their money into the pot. Mama and Papa smiled with pride. You know what the good book says, Mama told them. It is more blessed to give than to receive. We know, said brother. We receive an awful lot, so it's time we gave some of it back. Look, said sister, feeling in her pocket. I still have a quarter. Honey reached for it, and sister put it in her hand. Then little Honey, holding on to Papa, toddled over to the big black pot and dropped the quarter in. The bears playing the music paused. Merry Christmas, they said. Merry Christmas, answered the bear family. The end.
What a great story, and what a great message about how good it makes you feel when you give gifts. The Bible talks about that. The book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 35, it says, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." That means it actually makes you happier giving gifts than receiving gifts. Wow. I hope if you have not experienced that joy, that you will during this Christmas season, buying gifts for those that you love and giving. That's all the time we have tonight for our show, boys and girls, but thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you will join me again next Saturday evening. Have a very happy week.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!